What is going on, everybody? It is episode 889 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett, and I am here once again with my co-host. She's in a fantastic mood today. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, Crisis Actors. It's Mary, and, you know, I don't like that backhanded comment there. I am in a fantastic mood, not sarcastically. Although it does kind of suck that today is a Thursday and we don't have a guest because yesterday felt like a Thursday. I've just conditioned my brain that whenever Phil is here, it's a Thursday. But actually, you guys are getting a special treat because tonight on Timcast IRL, I assume if nothing changes, both of us will be on and we will team up to derail the discussion every opportunity. It's going to be so fun.
We'll be like, yeah, I mean, all that news about Democrats and Republicans is crazy, but did you see that playlist that JD Vance had?
Yeah.
Justin Bieber.
I'm excited to talk about that. I'm excited to, you know, not talk about Epstein.
I don't even know what's on the docket tonight or what's relevant. Has there been new Epstein stuff? I have no idea.
They seem to not decide until like 20 minutes before the show starts.
Whereas me and you,
we're very
we got
regimented.
10,000. We got 10,000 links. We're
saving
videos.
things weeks ahead of time sometimes. Like, you guys have no idea just the amount of heart that goes into this show. We really care.
Heart comes through in the way of timestamps, so that clips play right where they need to, right? Mm-hmm. Gosh, you know, just pat ourselves on the back like that. Hit the like button on the video today, guys, and subscribe to the channel if you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already. Please and thank you. Remember to share this content out with everybody in your life that you both love and hate in equal measure. The more people that you share the content with, the faster this channel can grow, which is the best way to help us out. Also remember that what I always say is to argue with the people that you know in the comments section, because one of the greatest ways that you can help us engage or grow our engagement is to have arguments about whatever the heck we're talking about. And I'm sure there's at least one topic on the docket today that you will feel strongly enough about that you could argue with somebody in the comments section. For instance, you know, after a week's worth of hoopla regarding the Sydney Sweeney ad campaign for American Eagle and the discussion of eugenics and genetics, Dunkin Donuts seems to be getting in on this as well as one of the stars of the show, The Summer I Turned Pretty, which exactly nobody I know has ever seen, despite the fact that it's extremely popular.
I feel like we've dunked on it on the show before,
for the same reason.
Came across the trailer for it and like, it's the most generic thing you've ever seen. It's sort of like the Kissing Booth, but even more generic.
Yeah.
Like, there's this mid girl who's getting fought over in a love triangle between two broccoli-headed Zoomer guys. And, like, the girls are loving it. I guess it's so popular that they decided to give this guy the brand deal.
Whenever I check Newsweek, they have like episode reviews in the entertainment section on Newsweek. I'm like, okay, I guess
like it's popular. A thing.
I do laugh because I remember many a year ago, I was like looking through a book about haircuts, and one of them was like, it was the whole section on fades in the undercut and why people with curly hair shouldn't have it because it turns your head into like a mushroom cloud. And
well, that advice be damned if you ask Gen Z.
Society, just a couple years later, dared to question such an authoritative stance on the matter, which is why every guy in like one of these shows ends up having that haircut, and why every annoying street interviewer who interviews you there with their iPhone as a microphone has that haircut. But, you know, I digress. Dunkin Donuts has taken one of the stars of the show, The Summer I Turned Pretty, and they are now talking about genetics. Is this an alt-right dog whistle? You're going to have to wait and see. You're going to have to wait and see. I'm going to need releases on what all of these advertising executives look like. Otherwise, I'm going to get suspicious. So we're going to talk about that. We are also going to talk about Chappell Roan. Do you know who that is? I bet you don't, despite the fact that we've talked about her like...
What's a Chappell Roan?
Exactly. What's a Chappell Roan? Well, a Chappell Roan is a pop singer who, a pop singer who she's getting in trouble for being not enough of an ally. She's not donating enough money to charitable causes.
Queer causes.
In the name of social justice. So we're going to get into that because when you court the activist audience, you end up paying the activist price. Also, Demi Lovato has had her full-on redemption arc, a FROYO redemption. She has come full circle.
Yeah,
like a cup of FROYO, full circle.
The right was reacting to her makeover and her recent wedding earlier this year, and she seems to be beautiful and not woke anymore. And she decided to take that redemption arc full circle by showing back up at the FROYO shop she infamously called out back in 2021 for carrying sugar-free varieties of their frozen yogurt.
How dare they!
Which triggered her as a recovering anorexic. So she doesn't really feel triggered by it anymore, given that she is skinny again.
She's put in the work.
Yeah, she's doing better.
She's like, Ozempic. I have no idea. If you're ready, Mary, we can just get started. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go for it.
So we're going to start with a little bit of a wholesome, heartwarming story from Hollywood. A new romance has emerged between co-stars Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson, who star in the just-released Naked Gun reboot movie. And it appears that they fell in love while working together on the film. According to People, they have confirmed that they are dating. They say it's a budding romance in the early stages. It's sincere, and it's clear that they are smitten with each other. They showed up to the red carpet for the movie's premiere along with their kids. So they're already introducing the family.
The blended family. Everything's coming together.
They look really cute together. I just think that it's cute when old people fall in love.
Whatever, man. She's only 57.
That's
like,
just...
You sicko.
You don't need to listen to the people who are saying that this is a creepy age gap. Okay, they're both old. It's only 15 years difference. We'll get into that in a second. There's another picture I wanted to show. This tweet says, Liam Neeson stayed single for 16 years following his wife, Natasha Richardson's tragic death in 2009. So happy he found love again with Pamela. So Natasha Richardson died in a skiing accident.
Yeah.
Back in 2009, and since then he has sworn off dating. In fact, I remembered that back in October, there were rumors he was with Pamela Anderson, but it was denied at the time. He said, with Pamela, first off, I'm madly in love with her. In a friend way. She's just terrific to work with. I can't compliment her enough, I'll be honest with you. He also said he was impressed that Pamela Anderson doesn't have a huge ego, which I'm sure he comes across very often in this industry. Mm-hmm. She just comes in to do the work. She is so funny and so easy to work with. She's going to be terrific in the film. And Pamela Anderson praises Liam Neeson, describing him as the perfect gentleman and humble. He brings out the best in you with respect, kindness, and depth of experience. It was an absolute honor to work with him. And this is another anecdote that she shared. He wrapped his coat around me when I was cold, proving that chivalry is not dead. His love for Pamela Anderson seems to be purely platonic, at least back then. He claimed that he was
evolved.
Yeah, he claimed that he was past the stage of his life where he was interested in dating, but that changed.
You know what they need to do right now? They need to go out. It never rains in Hollywood, I guess. But the idea would be you go out there, they're on Hollywood Boulevard, and it's raining, and he puts his coat over a puddle. And we have somebody in a phone from a car film it and post it on the internet. If we're going to do showmance, we should do it the real way these days, the right way, with social media posts that look like they're... It's like all those like those videos of like Allison Brie and Dave Franco doing weird shit in public now. Yeah. Like they need a wholesome version of that with Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson.
Yeah, and she must be, a woman who doesn't judge when he pisses his pants in public.
Exactly.
And she actually thinks that it's a really Chad move. She finds it attractive that he has so much confidence when he pisses his pants.
He's like, look, I'm at the bar. I've got drinks to consume.
Yeah.
I don't have time to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. He's just living as much life as he can while he has it. But of course, some people are agonizing over the 15-year age gap between Pamela Anderson, who is 58 years old, and Liam Neeson, who is 73.
You did post about this.
Back in October. Mm-hmm.
Yep, she's only 57!
You sick F. We have a 20 from X Sky I to Mary Morgan et al. From Moon at Noon. Absolute apocalyptic thunderstorm in Annapolis right now. Wish you were here, Mary. From the sound of it, I don't wish I was there.
She doesn't want to be.
I don't want to be in the wake of danger.
In like a storm of any sort.
Well, it's all clear skies here, actually.
Especially if it's got a road that's owned by a celebrity that nobody can get through if it floods.
A couple that both qualify for senior discounts, and somehow Twitter has a problem with it because the male is 15 years older than the female.
Well, it's because
Zoomers constantly trying to connect everything to PDF philia and power dynamics has given them critical brain damage.
It's the power dynamics that they're thinking about here, that somehow because he made Schindler's List and she made Baywatch, her his power dynamic is much greater than hers. I mean, she's the I don't know. Here's an interesting one. Who's the bigger star, Liam Neeson or Pamela Anderson?
As a movie star?
Just in general, who do you think's name carries more name recognition? Chat, I would be interested. I'm going to put this out there.
That's difficult.
Because what's interesting about it is he's had a very long and successful career, but as the meme went, when they made the honest trailers for Taken, they said, presenting the movie that finally paid for Liam Neeson's kids' college funds. He was always in big movies, but I think he came to more mainstream success with the Taken franchises in the later 2000s.
Okay, maybe we should put up a poll. We have another 20 from Jose Quintana. Terrible Thursday, Overlord and Empress, Pam's best movie, Barb Wire, Neeson's best, Schindler's List. I am planning to move to the Gongo. Empress, will the Gongo accept my passport? Can you authorize my entry? Long live PCC. Well, as long as you're going as, you know, a representative from like the UN who can offer them some help. They really need it. I had to get a new passport. My old passport expired years ago, and the photo is horrible. It's so bad. Like, I was here thinking, like, well,
no, it's going to be. It's literally like, you actually should.
Did you keep your glasses on?
No, they asked me to take them off.
Oh.
I tried to. So I always used to take them off on purpose for my pictures, but I don't know whether because of glare or for whatever reason. But I started to realize that, like, if a person's passport photo is too good, they're probably a spy anyways. So, you know, I don't trust a person with a really good passport photo or even a really good license photo.
I just know the next time I get them taken, they will be better because I was very ugly when I took my first passport photo and my first driver's license photo.
Yeah. One person says Pamela Anderson is, I'm sorry here, Vamp Fashion says Pamela Anderson is the bigger star, but Liam Neeson is the more legitimate movie star.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I was thinking maybe based on name recognition, Pamela Anderson, but based on like prestige in movies, Liam Neeson. I have to assume that this comment is said in jest. A 15-year age gap is not appropriate. Liam Neeson is a predator. You don't actually think
they have to be kidding.
Another one said, he's 15 years older than her. If that was a 35-year-old and a 50-year-old, would you think it appropriate? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I would. Yes. Emphatically, yes.
Where does this come from?
The obsession
with it just from being online?
Power dynamics?
The obsession with power dynamics.
You know, part of it, I think, has to do with the fact that Gen Z and probably millennials, too, were kind of isolated from people in different generations from them, given the fact that you're kept in the school system with people who are the same age as you and you're not encouraged to get mentorship or wisdom from the older generations. You know,
I was watching some guy had a really simplistic but kind of awesome take on it, which is like, if you watch movies from the 90s, if you're thinking of like the age gap of like the really old guy with the younger woman, it was always portrayed as her being a gold digger. Now it's being portrayed as him being a controlling, not a PDF file, but definitely somebody who's using his power to somehow hold status and power over you. So they've switched the roles on it, which was back in the day, that younger person would be portrayed with full agency, doing something for their own self-interest. Now they don't realize they've been tricked into it by some domineering geezer, I guess.
I think that the only reason, or the biggest reason, why age gaps seem more pronounced today than they used to has to do with how fast technology has changed. Like, Gen Z is less likely to have a lot of experience in common with millennials just because of how much technology changed between their childhoods. But in reality, you know, a Gen Zer could be just a handful of years younger than a millennial and be very close in age, and they would have entirely different interests and entirely different values, even based on that, how fast the culture has changed. But yeah, there's nothing predatory about two literal senior citizens dating. Like, it's just, it matters less and less the older you get as well.
They can both order off the senior menu. They're fine.
Yeah, and like, you know, they're really cute, and I think we should just support that. Like, I've seen very cute photos of them on the red carpet hanging out together, and they seem to be, at the very least, great friends.
That's the good one. Let's talk about the cringy one.
This is the one that I don't support. Katy Perry is fresh off of splitting up with the father of her children, Orlando Bloom. And now, reportedly, she is seeing Justin Trudeau. They were recently spotted together having a drink by TMZ in this photo.
I mean, where was Rick Caruso? Why couldn't she hang out with Rick Caruso?
Well, he's probably married, if I had to guess. And then there's this incredibly cringy video of Justin Trudeau.
Yes, I sent it.
Attending one of her concerts.
You guys can thank me for my sacrifice. I put X back on my phone. I already feel dirty and unkempt. And for that, I had to see and suffer through this video of Justin Trudeau singing Firework by Katy Perry. Therefore, you must do so as well.
Like, he's just surrounded by all the girlies.
See, this
singing along to Firework.
Yeah. It would be more dignified if it was Justin Bieber. That's it. It's a 6-second clip of him singing.
Damn. I was hoping for more. We had another 20 from Jose Quintana. Neeson has had the far more successful movie career. Pam is still world famous for obvious reasons. By the way, I actually met Neeson randomly on the UWS. He was fiddling with a small camera, nice and approachable.
That's awesome.
They seem to stand out in their industry for being relatively down to earth.
I would like to think that Liam Neeson, especially given the fact that he's been around as long as he has, is kind of, he's got a very not everyman quality about him, though I do think that that's what made him successful in his later years, because his movies were about, you know, he's the unassuming old tough guy. I saw somebody in the chat call him a faux tough guy. No, he's a movie tough guy. It's not the same thing. Faux tough guy would be as if he was actually pretending to be that way. But I do think it's time for him. He's found love. It's time for him to hang it up with the action movies, lest we end up with that scene in Taken 3 where there's 37 cuts of him hopping over a fence, and it wasn't even him hopping over the fence. In fact, that movie's probably responsible for why John Wick became as popular as it did, with less cuts and more long shots, because you want to actually see Keanu Reeves doing it, not see 37 takes of a stuntman hopping over a fence that was like waist high.
Still not as bad as Harrison Ford in Dial of Destiny.
We have
another
even worse
budding romance between Tom Cruise and Ana de Armas, which has been rumored for quite a while now. I'm less surprised by that.
This is a very Wookiee pose he's doing here. This is very Bigfoot.
This is literally...
He looks like he just got caught.
Yeah, he looks taken aback. Did you think that the baseball cap and the sunglasses were going to hide the fact that you're Tom Cruise?
I mean, he's not willing to do what Leonardo DiCaprio does, which is to still wear the mask.
He literally looks like Bigfoot.
Yeah. The guest last night from the side on IRL, from the side of his face, looked like Tom Cruise a little bit to me.
Tom Cruise and Ana de Armas escaped to Vermont after going to an Oasis concert at Wembley Stadium in London.
I told Mary a couple weeks ago that they were together, and she's like, no, I don't think they are.
Well, last I had checked, Tom Cruise was dating some random model or something that I had never heard of before, but I guess that wasn't true. But yeah, I'm not as surprised by this.
I mean, by the way, I want to give...
But I'm worried. I'm worried because I think Tom Cruise is possibly going to induct Ana de Armas into the Church of Scientology, and I'm worried about her.
When me and Olivia were in DC last week, and there was a bus with a Scientology ad plastered all over it. It said, like, for the book, like, The Art of Dianetics. And I was like, what the fuck?
How do they allow that?
I don't know.
That is crazy. With the track record of the Church of Scientology, you would think that they would not get mainstream advertising.
Yeah, on the side of a bus right there in downtown DC.
Crazy.
I mean, I was already miserable because I was in DC.
You would more expect to see that maybe in LA.
Yeah.
Like they're more prominent in California, like on the West Coast.
So the other thing I want to give TMZ credit for here is I don't know if the hold my hand reference is just because they're holding my hand or because that was the name of the Lady Gaga song from the end of Top Gun Maverick. I would like to think it's that they're just that good at their thumbnails, their headlines.
Love TMZ.
Tim used TMZ for something last night. I don't remember what it was. And people will scoff, but TMZ is pretty good about getting every story, and just when you think that they've got that they're gonna miss something, they get it with like the audio recording of whatever happened. Like Hulk Hogan, they had the audio recording of the police call from his, from when he died, and they're on the ball with everything. They're the first to get it.
Do you think this means Tom Cruise and Ana de Armas are going to do a movie together?
Well, I mean, maybe she'll be in the next Mission Impossible movie.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I'm missing something big, but unless some of those movies that she was in were produced by him, I don't think that they were in anything at the same time.
I don't think so.
But she'll have to call Katie Holmes for advice.
Yeah. Katie Holmes never became a Scientologist, though.
Was she not when they were together? I have no idea.
Nicole Kidman, wasn't she like open to it at one point, but decided not to stay?
Yes, in the chat.
So I know a girlfriend of Tom Cruise's is the one who introduced him to.
Does that like skip
Church
you like
Scientology.
8 levels? Mimi Rogers?
Rogers, yes.
If you marry Tom Cruise, do you skip to like the highest level of Scientology? Like you're hanging out with like a bust of L. Ron Hubbard? Like,
oh yeah, he runs that place for sure.
So okay, maybe she. Well, you know what? They're gonna show up next to the guitarist from Linkin Park.
Amazing.
There we go. All right. What would you like to see? Cringe or Key of the Day?
Another.
Oh yes.
Topic.
It's because we went from Liam to we do, and this one's even more important in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether to trust that this information is reliable, full transparency, but allegedly the Spotify playlists of many high-profile CEOs and politicians have just been leaked by an anonymous website called Panama Playlists. It quietly went live just yesterday and claims to reveal the private music tastes of a slew of public figures.
Okay, hold on.
Thank you.
Hold, please. Thank you, guys. Clocking. This song could be on one of those lists.
Well, Justin Bieber is definitely on one of them.
So, I actually think this is probably the most invasive leak that you could, other than nudes, leaking your music taste. Because one of the things we always talk about, Mary, is like you say, I really care about your Spotify Wrapped playlist, but that's your curated, you only post it because you know it's eclectic and cool.
Yeah.
Like you're not really eclectic unless this gets leaked and your music tastes are all over the place.
This is the part that you don't want people to know about. This website says, I found the real Spotify accounts of celebrities, politicians, and journalists. Many use their real names. With a little sleuthing, I could say with near certainty, yep, this is them. We've been scraping their accounts since summer 2024. Playlists, live listening feed, everything. I know what songs they played, when, and how many times. And they also have claimed they're responsible for exposing offshore bank accounts. Okay. This is about, they say, onshore vibes. And this website is not affiliated with Spotify or any of the individuals featured. They list first here JD Vance, who has a playlist called Making Dinner.
Okay, so you questioned beforehand whether JD Vance makes his own dinner anyways.
They have private chefs. Don't.
So maybe it's literally he drinks a glass of expensive wine and watches them cook.
But they play I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys and One Time by Justin Bieber.
You know, that's the original Justin Bop, so.
In fact, they hyperlink to the playlist here, and it looks like this Spotify user might have deleted their account by now, but it also has Nat King Cole, the Black Keys, There's
Dog
Florence
days are
and the
over by Florence.
Machine.
I mean, he is a man of his age.
Yeah,
that
this
is for sure.
is extremely, like, there's some of Monsters and Men. This is very millennial core. I believe it. It's giving stomp clap.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I mean, he can afford the expensive burger at Thistle and Thorn.
And then there is another playlist that claims to be JD Vance's called Gold on the Ceiling, which features What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction.
He's got Stay by Lisa Loeb. That's very good.
You Are a Tourist by Death Cab for Cutie.
Is there any of the Postal Service on here? That's what I want to know. He's got the original Fast Car by Tracy Chapman.
Some Whitney Houston here.
He's Passion Pit.
Wow.
Wilco. Butthole Surfers. He is so eclectic, guys.
It looks like he went to a playlist called 90s radio hits to make this playlist.
I'm thinking that he knew, like, he got a leaked memo from
the Lumineers.
He got a leaked memo from the NSA that this was going to happen, and he's like, I got to make my eclectic playlist so I can get out in front of this.
They also claim to have found Caroline Levitt's playlist called Baby Shower. She is the press secretary, if you weren't aware.
Is she? Is she pregnant right now?
I don't
imagine how crazy it would be if, like, this leaked her that she was gonna have kids.
Maybe. I mean, she already has at least one child, I believe, but maybe she's pregnant again. I don't know. There's some Michael Bublé on here, some Beyonce,
Justin Timberlake,
Cyndi Lauper, Harry Styles, Luke Combs, Shabuzi.
Love Song by Sarah Bareilles.
Like, if this is all fake, they've done a really good job at making it believable. Shake It Off by Taylor Swift is on Caroline Levitt's Baby Shower playlist.
She's probably retweeted something from Trump bashing on Taylor Swift, all while listening to Taylor Swift. The hypocrisy.
There's also Pam Bondi's playlist called Pam, which has Hot in Here by Nelly.
Oh, my goodness.
Hello by Adele. Kill Him with Kindness by Selena Gomez. Yeah, I bet that's what they did to Epstein. They killed him with kindness.
That's exactly what they did. Forever by Ben Harper. Okay.
She likes Shout Out to My Ex by Little Mix.
Okay.
I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas. Oh, Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. I remember that being featured in the Epstein cover-up. Cool.
Break Up in a Small Town by Sam Hunt.
She likes Casey Musgraves. Oh, and Cooler Than Me by Mike Posner.
Hey, that was a good one.
They've got Mike Johnson on here.
Yeah, Mike Johnson is exactly his age demographic.
Like, I don't know. Maybe this was just expertly curated by somebody who is really good at guessing someone's music taste.
That would be my hope.
But I honestly think that it's real.
Yep.
I don't know. Is it harder to believe that, like, a boomer or a Gen Xer has Spotify, though? I feel like they use YouTube to listen to music.
No. Spotify has made so much inroads in that market.
Yeah.
I 100.
Okay.
Okay.
We've got Ron DeSantis on here listening to Johnny Cash, Rascal Flatts, even Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus.
That's perfect.
Some ABBA, Billy Joel. They've also featured Sam Bankman-Fried, Palmer Luckey, Seth Meyers, Mark Andreessen, Pete Buttigieg, Dan Crenshaw, Hakeem Jeffries. The list just goes on and on. Chris LaCivita, Trump's campaign manager. These are some deep cuts.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting list of people that they chose to leak on here.
Does
the Coinbase CEO, Brian Armstrong.
I said that we needed to make a fake one of Hillary Clinton with like 6 Million Ways to Die and all sorts of, and Murder Was the Case by Snoop Dogg.
This is crazy. Jacob Hellberg listens to Charlie XCX, Chappell, Roan, and Addison Rae, and the Glee soundtrack.
Kind of zesty.
He's definitely showing how zesty he is. Yeah, and then the list just keeps going. They have Taylor Lorenz on here.
I do believe that for a lot of people would probably rather have just about anything leaked but their music taste. It's like the meme of Patrick Bateman walking into the office and then it says what I'm actually listening to when I head to the gym, and it's Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus.
Would you feel ashamed if your Spotify playlists were leaked?
I don't have Spotify.
Well, whatever. If your playlists were leaked, in the same way, like, would you feel exposed?
I'd probably feel a little exposed. It would go away.
Like, I'm not really ashamed of anything that I listen to.
That I listen to. But when you look at those Spotify Wrapped, it's like, look at how interesting and unique I am. Maybe the idea here is you got to be able to put your best foot forward. Is like, what you don't want is like that one playlist that doesn't fully represent who you really are. You're like, why did you grab that playlist? You need to get my day mix. My day mix has all the eclectic music taste that I listen to. If you get my sleep playlist, that's vastly different.
Right. Actually, this detail makes it more believable. Caroline Leavitt's profile has a playlist called Baby Shower, which makes sense because she had her baby a month after the playlist was made. So it all fits. Like, it all makes sense. I feel like whoever made this definitely did the work.
I support this. I do think that this is a deeply, deeply personal thing to leak about somebody.
But Obama's summer playlist that he releases every year.
See, that's what we really. If we want true transparency, I want you to leak Obama's playlist, and it better look every bit like the one that he makes and curates and publishes.
This is
Shabuzi better be on there. If he's not, I don't want to hear it. He's lying.
This is some real blackmail material right here.
It is. They're like, can you imagine? They come to Obama. They're like, we were in those burn bags, and we found all those documents in the secret room, and we've got your playlist.
I wish they were able to find Trump's Mar-a-Lago playlist, because everyone knows he's obsessed with controlling the music at Mar-a-Lago, and they like hand him the iPad, and he picks things out for everyone.
Trump gives nobody else the aux.
Yeah. Why weren't they able to find Trump's playlist? I would have loved to see that.
His he's another one who could live through any embarrassing song, right? Yeah. Like, people were like, there was like this leak that said that Trump was supposedly seething over the most recent South Park episodes, and I'm like, I don't believe that. Like, I don't believe that he cares.
No,
it's not believable to me.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
So I don't know if Rashida Tlaib should be listening to Lady Antebellum, though. That seems...
You have a problem with that? You have a qualm?
Yeah, I have qualms. All right. I think that JD Vance has had the chance to make an all emo playlist that leaked that would make all the photoshops of him with the eyeliner.
I thought he had a classic millennial emo phase, but my guess is that maybe he was more into nu metal.
I suppose. Was he into Korn
Given
and
his
Limp
age
Bizkit? Yeah.
And the way that he used to dress? I don't know.
I didn't see any comedy playlists on there. I would have liked to see if there was any comedy playlists, like with
what they're like listening to stand up on Spotify. Yeah. I don't know.
All of those.
I want to know more importantly, I want to know what podcasts they're listening to on Spotify. That would actually reveal a lot more.
And like, we look at Dan Crenshaw and it's like, Call Her Daddy.
No, like Caroline Leavitt definitely listens to Call Her Daddy. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I would like you in the chat to let us know if you guys, I'm going to put the link here in the chat. Feel free to look at it, and then maybe send us a message on X and let us know who was the most interesting of the names in there that you thought, who curated the most interesting playlist there. I feel bad for them. I feel like it is a violation of your privacy to have this leaked.
I don't really feel bad for them.
All right, so let's move on. What would you like to see, cringe or cute?
Let's see Cringe first.
Okay.
This is
actually, you know what? I'm gonna do cute of the day first because it's somber, and then we'll go into Cringe here.
Okay,
so I'm gonna do this one.
A high note.
I saw that Andrew Jacobs sent me this. He says, "Hi Brent and Mary. This past Saturday, I had to euthanize my beloved Chihuahua Miles Davis Jacobs due to congestive heart failure and lung cancer. So I'm resubmitting him for cute of the day." That is very sad,
Miles.
and I hope Miles is moved on to greener pastures.
Sorry for your loss.
It's always sad, given everything we've got going on with Mocha. I definitely understand. So rest in peace to Miles. All right, now we shall do the cringe. We will finish it on a cringe note here.
You're about to hear Lady Gaga explain, I think, how a star is born.
Oh, damn. I thought you was going to be like, what the fuck does Lady Gaga know about cameras?
No, it's better than that.
The world was created by a feminine sound wave. And that feminine sound wave actually saw what they thought was their father.
It is the most performative outfit I've ever seen, even from back then, whenever this was.
Below them, and fell to be with their father, but it was actually a reflection from behind them so they fell into an abyss and broke into two, and that then there were two galaxies that were born, and one was good and one was evil, and that the evil one is the one where evil things pretended to be God. And then we believed in them and we divided, and then we started to argue and hate each other. And that is the world that I believe I live on. But that my understanding of God actually is that it's a sign. I believe God began as a sound. The whole world was created by a feminine sound wave.
I love how the interviewer is just sitting there acting like he knows what she's talking about. He's like nodding along. He's like, yeah, I was thinking exactly the same thing, Gaga.
That was exactly what I was thinking about.
Well, in case any of you were wondering, like that's how a star is born.
Not the movie, an actual star.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the movie. I'm like, the whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, what the does this have to do with the movie with Bradley Cooper?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, you know.
Those are Lady Gaga's thoughts on the origin of the universe as we know it.
It's not clocking to you.
That she's standing on business.
She's starring on business.
She's starring on business.
Okay, let's I've learned so much. I've come so far. Let's get started.
Just when you thought the controversy around Sydney Sweeney's ad with American Eagle was starting to die down, instead, another brand has jumped on the bandwagon of creating an advertisement somehow tangentially related to genetics and, in some people's view, eugenics. This is Dunkin's new ad released starring the actor Gavin Casalegno from The Summer I Turned Pretty. I am not plugged in enough with the culture to be aware of this guy's existence before seeing this ad, but here is what he said in the ad, which is kind of getting some raised eyebrows.
You know, we're going to watch it? Here we go. Yeah. I thought we were going to read it. I was like, I thought we were going to watch it. Here we go. Genetics.
Great.
It's his genetics, him and Sydney Sweeney.
There are some comments asking, why is everything suddenly about genetics? What's up with these creepy ads lately? It's getting a little too blatant now. There's another one that says, they just Sweeneyed white men. We don't get enough hate already?
Well, I mean, not really.
Are we in a simulation? What is going on? Why are advertisers advertising genetics? Something fishy is going on. And then another one said, whoever is the creative director behind these ads needs to do better or find a new line of work. It is interesting, though. I think that they probably scripted this and filmed this before the American Eagle ad campaign.
That's what I meant to say.
Which makes it even weirder that this converged. And I would assume that seeing the American Eagle backlash, Dunkin would probably postpone or cancel this, but maybe they think this is the move, like jump on the bandwagon while it lasts.
He's tied to a TV show which has new episodes airing right now. It probably has to come out right now.
But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they did script and film this after the American Eagle.
No way. To get it done that quickly, I think that it's already been done.
With all the legal and all the planning and the set design and the scripting and the lighting, all of the different moving parts, you have to assume this was already in the works before American Eagle launched the Sydney Sweeney ad.
It's referencing summer. This was done, this was planned ages in advance.
Yeah, and interestingly, actually, Sydney Sweeney last month did an ad campaign that didn't receive as much attention for Baskin-Robbins, which happens to be in a partnership with Dunkin. These were some of the photos that they released for that ad campaign. She's like smiling with an ice cream cone.
I wonder, like, I'm going to go to like, this is what somebody who's making, like, a girl who's a content creator right now needs to go to a Baskin-Robbins and just buy an ice cream cone and start making these poses.
Look at the next one. I don't believe for a second that a girl with a waist that snatched frequents Baskin-Robbins. I'm sorry. I don't. But still, this is another example of her getting her bag, and a lot of people are saying if Sydney Sweeney were being smart with her brand image, she would be doing campaigns with Dior and prestige fashion houses. And I was thinking, I don't know. Would Dior or American Eagle pay her more? Whichever one pays her more is probably the one that she's going to pick.
I don't know which one pays her more. I know that she has a brand right now that screams accessible to the average person, and Dior puts her in a different category.
Well, they don't put, Timothy Chalamet in a Dior ad because they think that a bunch of his fans are going to buy their products. His fans are children who can't afford those products. It's more about just brand recognition in general.
I mean, if we're talking about things that that she coincides with, I think that recognizable and accessible brands to the average person, kind of like the Shaq approach. He's got all the shoes on sale at Walmart. Like, she would be better, rather than doing Dior, have a freaking clothing line at Target.
But other people believe she's in it for the money, not curating a brand image.
Well, yeah, part of making money is curating a brand image.
But maybe Dior could pay her more and would pay her more.
I think she's better off doing these types of ads. I do.
Well, okay, but if we're to believe the claim that she's only in it for a paycheck, would she still go with the one that paid less?
No, I think she's thinking 3 steps ahead. Yeah, I think she's thinking about how it relates to her overall image amongst people. Just think about it. Like, we talked about her and Sabrina Carpenter and how they seem to represent different sides of the same coin.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Sabrina Carpenter is the Dior ad. She's the Dunkin' Donuts ad.
Sabrina Carpenter literally had a brand deal with Dunkin' Donuts this summer. She had the shake it espresso or whatever. So maybe we're wrong about both of them.
They're clearly going for a specific look.
I just realized this is all a Benson Boone psyop.
Yeah.
Brett. Sydney Sweeney is promoting Blue Jeans ice cream.
Oh, no.
Okay, what's next? Dancing at the movies?
Yeah, she's going to get an AMC sponsorship with Nicole Kidman.
My mind is blown.
No, her and Glenn Powell are going to become AMC ambassadors.
We have a 20 from Boosted Yogi said, bring back the Carl's Jr. commercials. Well, Carl's Jr. already did that. They had a really controversial commercial that came out several months back with Alex Earl that brought back their old brand image. I don't know if they've doubled down on that since then. That was at the
Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, actually it was last year.
I could see her coming out with her own makeup or clothing line, and it's not inaccessible. It's at Target.
But you would say no to Walmart, like she wouldn't do Walmart.
I think she'd do well. I think whoever she feels gives her longer term success, meaning like is the idea that we'll give you a 5-year contract to run a brand, to run this product out of our store, which one she's a businesswoman. And I think she's curating an image right now, and she screams girl next door. Dior doesn't scream girl next door, but Dunkin' Donuts does.
Well, some people are applauding her because they believe she is speed running the Hollywood system, and she knows that she isn't a talented actress and that right now is as good a time as any to chase the bag. Radfem Hitler said, I think Sweeney just knows that she's not particularly talented and will age out of her sex appeal. She sees the writing on the wall. She has no staying power. She's just trying to get the bag while she can.
No, I think she's looking to move into production and management. I think
she's not going to be acting anymore in, say, 10 years, 15 years?
I think she'll do both. I think she'll end up doing both. But I think what she sees herself as is a business owner and a promoter.
Well, aside from all of this conversation about the public image that these celebrities are curating, on the right, there is an increasingly tone-deaf conversation happening about the cultural vibe shift, where honestly, I just think that a lot of right-wingers are desperate to find celebrities that are willing to echo their message, including Billie Eilish, by the way, who I never said, like, Billie Eilish is based, guys. Like, she merely made one remark that happened to momentarily
agree with one thing you agree on.
Just one thing that the right believes, and then everyone took that and ran with it.
The number one thing me and you probably agree on is that people on the right are desperate for that celebrity. So one thing you'll see is like Evie Magazine will post all these infographics of a celebrity saying one thing that isn't mentally insane. And then they're like, the vibe shift is. I'm like, no, that person said 10,000 other things that are insane.
And still are.
And one random thing that was not insane, and they're trying to glom onto it and say that it's somehow indicative of the culture shifting. No, it's an indication of where your focus is, and you found this one thing. That doesn't mean that anything has changed.
Well, one example of that stands out to me is from the Oscars this year when Kieran Culkin went on stage to accept his award, and he was making jokes with his wife who was sitting in the audience saying, like, I hope that we have another baby.
Do you know why this is?
And then all the conservatives were like, Kieran Culkin is like a pro-family conservative.
This is one of the things that I've tried to tell.
Also, like, Jennifer Lawrence was also on a panel at, I believe, Cannes Film Festival talking about the way that motherhood has evolved her as a person, and then everyone was hopping on that as well. They've done the same thing with a new comment from Vanessa Kirby, who is currently pregnant and promoting Fantastic Four. This tweet says, culture is shifting. Vanessa Kirby humanizes her unborn child by praising motherhood on a red carpet, defying Hollywood's anti-kid agenda, saying moms are the real superheroes. Babies aren't burdens, they're blessings.
Before we watch this, I just want to remind you that this is from decades of conservatives acting as if literally every person in Hollywood was a lizard person pedophile that worshipped Moloch. And not just generic shitlibs and far leftists who also happen to have families. Okay? You can be far left and still have a family and believe all the stupid things that they always talk about. You've turned them into weird, like, less than human beings. And therefore, when they say something mildly not stupid, you're shocked by it. But this was always the case.
Well, let's hear what Vanessa Kirby said.
Vanessa Kirby,
First of all, that guy's shirt is a bold choice. I understand that it's because of the
vibe,
the
retro
vibe of the show, but
Sue Storm, our Invisible Woman, welcome to the premiere.
Thank you so much. It feels so great to be here.
Well, we're so happy that you're here. And so here's the thing. NASA actually has a term, Manager of Missions, whose acronym is MOM. And you are the mom of the Fantastic Four. And I'm so curious how you wanted leadership to show up, just like the moms of NASA.
Yes. Well, it's not surprising, is it? Because I learned a lot from Sue about how mums are really the real superheroes. And I think we all, I've taken mine for granted. And she taught me, oh, God, it just was such an amazing lived experience to realize that this, she's pregnant, she gives birth, then she's a new mother, all while this, existential intergalactic threat is coming and this mission is taking place. And I was so honored that Marvel asked me to take this journey, but also wanted to portray a mother like that, because it's metaphorical, I think, for what mothers do every day.
Well, we are so excited to see.
Okay.
And that is all conservatives needed to hear to believe that Vanessa Kirby is some kind of crusader for the pro-life movement.
I mean, all that is generic pro-mom stuff, which has been part of first and second wave feminism, at the very least.
Gun to any of our heads, is Vanessa Kirby pro-choice or pro-life?
Pro-choice.
Uh-huh.
Also, like it's like the Bill Burr skit about like about motherhood being the hardest job, and he's like, "Oh, I thought roofing in July is a redhead." But it's the argument is always it's not that motherhood is the most difficult job, but that it is the most important job. But the thing is this is just celebrities having a generic conversation. And if you went to any of the morning talk shows and a pregnant celebrity went on there, you'd probably hear some type of discussion similar to this.
Well, yes, and this is just another example of people on the left talking left and walking right.
Yes.
They will constantly talk about how, families are bad for the carbon footprint, and if you have too many children, you're going to kill the planet.
But they're going to have kids.
It's selfish, and they constantly are advocating for unlimited access to abortion through all 9 months of pregnancy. This is still the party platform of Hollywood, and that is not something I expect to change. But they, in their private lives, of course, conduct themselves a different way than how they instruct the public to. So that's not something that surprises me at all. People on the right do the same thing, where they talk right and walk left a lot of the time. Yeah. I even pointed this out in relation to Charlie Kirk, who is another one of these conservative pundits who tells young people who he has influence over, you know, that you should get married young and like have, they always do the tagline like, have more kids than you can afford and whatever. But if you look at his private conduct, he waited a very long time to get married and ended up marrying an educated professional woman who is a handful of years older than him.
It's like when they talk
and is
about
pursuing a master's degree.
It's like when they talk about don't go to college.
And
most of
I'm
them
not
are...
even attacking Charlie Kirk's decisions in his lifestyle choices. I'm just saying this is not something that surprises me at all. Like, someone says they believe one thing and acts another way. That's part of the human condition. Yep. We have a 20 from Mason Miller. Watched you on Timcast last night and couldn't throw in there that I will forever maintain that the Mummy movie could have been exactly the same and would have been a success if Brendan Fraser was the star and not Tom.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it's very different from the original Mummy, but I think that Brendan Fraser coming back, it's just in 2017, I don't think it would have had that. It would have had that impact the way it did. It took some time for Brendan Fraser to come back and have his revitalization, but it would have been cool. It would have been cool. I'm not a big. Like, I don't know extensively about the Universal monsters and all this stuff that goes back decades and decades. Frankenstein, The Mummy, all of those old stories. That was never really my bag. But I would watch a new Mummy with Brendan Fraser if they ended up making that. I know they're making a new Mummy movie, but I don't think Brendan Fraser is attached to it, though he said he would if they asked.
Oh, but they didn't ask.
I don't think they asked. It's the dude who made Evil Dead Rise is making it. So they might be going deeper into horror with it. So anyways, yeah, I think part of this, at least in my personal opinion, is because people have turned celebrities into like satanic supervillains rather than just hypocrites.
Some of them are satanic. I believe some of them are satanic.
But I'm saying, then they ascribe that label to all of them.
Yeah, and you know, they are just people at the end of the day, and I think that what the right is doing by picking out celebrity avatars for their ideology is just another form of celebrity idol worship, which I hate. Okay, let's read some super chats. Shane H. Wilder said, "Happy Thursday, Brett and Mary. I went to the Shrine of the Grotto at Mount St. Mary's. Man, what a beautiful view. Oh, and A&W is overpriced. $11 for a small burger and 6 individual fries.
I told you, bro.
Oh.
Like, when we went there and Olivia got like a burger and fries and we had to take out a mortgage, I was like, what? Like, the audacity of this company that shares space with disgusting ass Long John Silver's charging that much money.
And they gave you 6 fries. That is pitiful. If you're in the general area, highly recommend visiting the National Shrine Grotto in Emmitsburg, Maryland. Very beautiful.
How far away is that? Like, if we were
from
back in
DC or from here?
Well, like if you were in Frederick.
It's probably less than 2 hours.
Okay.
Maybe less than an hour if you're in Frederick. I'm not sure. Adam said, "Hi, Brett and Mary. Last night, paranormal story was interesting." What was the paranormal story?
Okay, so the guest was telling this story about he was in Iraq, he was in the military, and he was on patrol, and he saw what they deem in Iraq a jinn, like disappear behind, like, into this room where there was no out. It was like he went into this alcove where there was like 4 locked doors and just gone, and he reported it to his superiors. And they kind of laughed at him, and he's like, "Well, I'm not gonna not report it." It was very interesting, and he said how it was in the same area where there was a bunch of mass graves were discovered, complete with like acid bath and wood chipper that they would feed people into back in the day, and yeah.
Weird.
I did tell the story that my earliest memory is the only paranormal-esque incident in my life that I've ever had, which is that I was at home when I was very, very young. Again, earliest memory, in the bath, and a figure walked by the bathroom door that could not have been in the house. There was nobody home. It wasn't my mom, wasn't my dad. I've never seen anything like that again. I've never had paranormal instances or experiences, and that is the earliest memory I have as a human being.
Ugh. Was your house on top of some gravesite or something?
I mean, we were next to. That's possible because there was all the parks in the town that I was raised in were named after Indian tribes. So it's possible.
Well, I guess if you look at every square inch of the world, there is probably human remains somewhere underneath you. Mm-hmm. Shane H. Wilder said, "What's a Chappell Roan?"
What's a Chappell Roan?
Well, I guess we're going to have to teach everyone again. Weary Traveler said, "I have a long weekend coming up, and I think I'll spend one day shopping at American Eagle while drinking my iced coffee from Dunkin."
Capitalism, baby.
Vote with your dollar.
Vote with your wallet. Like we're not long off before American Eagle launches their race realism line, and then
so true. We have some.
I got some rumble rants, and then we'll move on. So from Bystander Syndrome says, anyone that has the broccoli cut just looks like Titan from everyone's favorite movie, Megamind. The broccoli cut to me signifies that it also comes with like long white socks, dirty white shoes, and black shorts. That's what they all wear.
Is that the uniform?
That's the uniform.
Yeah.
It looks like they want to go to some type of content house.
They, I feel like if they don't have the broccoli cut and they're going for like the indie look, it's going to be the mustache mullet combo and maybe a button down, some baggy jeans.
He also says, or like the live action Black Kid Flash. I don't know if that show ever made it to the screen. Are you talking about like Wally West from like the CW Flash? I don't know what you're talking about. I think that's...
There's another one.
One more from the local Wendigo says, it's the ugly people that are mostly mad. They can suck in, I'm not going to say that word. I'm tired of being told ugly is beautiful.
I mean, yeah, I understand why people feel a bit of reprieve from woke marketing, but doesn't mean you have to worship brands and celebrities as a result. That part is kind of jumping the shark for me.
Let's hold off on the rest. Let's go.
If you're asking what is a Chappell Roan, she is an up-and-coming pop star in the industry, and she has mostly courted a queer audience because she makes what is called sapphic music. She identifies as a lesbian, and she has a long history at this point of donating to causes that matter the most to her, which mostly involve queer youth and transgender youth, and she also is outspokenly pro-Palestine. You get the idea, and you get the idea of the kind of person who idolizes Chappell Roan and who will be deeply disappointed if she doesn't keep up the appearance of being a perfect ally to every marginalized community. And in this example, she failed at activism once again.
As she did.
So she just announced a list of pop-up shows that she is about to do in New York City, in Kansas City, and Pasadena. And it's called Visions of Damsels and Other Dangerous Things. At the end of her announcement for this mini tour, she said, "We are giving $1 per ticket to organizations dedicated to supporting and providing resources for trans youth in each city. Thank you for understanding, and I'm sorry it's a lot of info. I truly cannot wait to see you." And the comments were quickly flooded with fans who were not satisfied with the dollar amount being donated to trans youth.
A whole $1? How generous of her.
Yeah, $1 isn't much compared to what she'll make. Another one said, "Very virtue signaling, sparing $1. Yeah. Wow, like that's just not good enough, right? From all these people who have probably donated $0 to any of the things that they claim to care about.
It's why you never go into any type of activism, because it will never be enough. Because they are the have-nots and they hate the haves. They don't care how much the haves donate to the have-nots. It will never be enough until you are broke, destitute, just like they are, and miserable.
Another comment said, I'm very much stuck between good for her and damn, that's really not a ton percentage-wise. I'm conflicted. This is just a comment from someone who, first of all, is posturing about the values they hold, but also does not understand money or the music industry. Yeah, if she's selling like 100,000 tickets overall, then that means she's donating $100,000. No, it's not coming directly out of her bank account, but does it really matter? And I don't even support these organizations. These organizations are probably trafficking minors across state lines to get so-called gender-affirming care to mutilate them for life. I don't support the causes that Chappell Roan supports, but if you're judging her just from the perspective of someone who supports these causes, she's quote-unquote doing the right thing. It's just never going to be good enough until you're living in a barrel.
It's funny how you mentioned how A&W got mentioned, because this whole thing, the lack of understanding of math, reminded me of this old story about how A&W tried to sell a third pounder but failed because people didn't understand fractions.
Oh, yeah, because
it's bigger than a quarter pounder. That's what this made me think of. I took the time to pull this up, and then we talked about A&W earlier. Imagine that.
People are dumb. And basically illiterate.
I'm dumb, but that's why I don't complain about what somebody else does with their money.
Another comment that was defending Chappell Roan said, celebrity donates $100,000 to charity. Everyone cheers and calls them amazing. Celebrity donates $1 per ticket sold to their tour. Expected ticket sales 100,000. And all of a sudden it's an issue. Are you all stupid? Can you not do math? And what have you donated to charity today? Yep. Which is a good point. Another fan of hers said ticket sales don't go directly into her pocket. They go towards paying the crew, the venues, the transportation, her label, etc. And she does this for every show, not just this tour. She has also donated ticket sales to Palestine before this. Yep. Even just following the Met Gala last month, it was announced she auctioned off the outfit she wore from the Met Gala, and proceeds would be donated to the Ali Forney Center, which is a nonprofit organization focused on providing shelter and healthcare services to young queer people experiencing homelessness in New York City.
What's weirder is I feel like somebody who doesn't cultivate this audience will ironically have more generous fans. And what I mean by that is, like, if you're the type of artist who's like, you're not going to donate to a bunch of causes, you're going to court an audience that understands that your money is your money to spend and you can do so with it what you will. Therefore, when they come and meet you, they're going to be less expectant of you, actually. So one of the things about these types of fans is they also end up being the most demanding. They'll get mad if she doesn't want to take a photo with them. They'll get mad if she doesn't do something that they want them to do, because they feel that they're choosing you as somebody to stan gives them some type of ownership over you.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Like, I doubt anybody who's a fan of Gwyneth Paltrow expects her to do anything for them.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you would actually choose the easier path if you go for a Gwyneth Paltrow brand image. And it's incredibly ironic for Chappell Roan to have such an antagonistic view of the people who idolize her. She's constantly talking about how she deserves her privacy. She deserves the right to not interact with fans in public when she is not, in costume and performing. She doesn't want to hug people. She doesn't want to interact with people. She only wants fan interaction on her terms. And she is constantly, posturing about how difficult it is to be famous, which of course it is in some respects, but when you tell your fans about how difficult it is, they're never going to understand it nor listen.
It would be like me and you being like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This job is so difficult.
Or, try being an influencer for a day. Try it.
Try it.
Okay. But people don't hear that message and actually resonate with it, of course, because they think that you're living your dream, which in a lot of ways she is. Yes. But she's constantly complaining about it, and she acts like she's someone who just stumbled into being famous instead of the fact, which is that she worked
hard
for this level of fame as a now, I believe, 27-year-old for the past decade. And when it finally caught on and she finally started getting industry approval and, you know, going on tours that could make her a profit, now she wants to complain, and she has unfortunately painted herself into this corner with all of these people who are insufferable because she's catered to them for so long.
Yeah, and you can't get, that's your audience now.
Yeah.
Like for her especially, she's, I mean, there is the possibility that within a few years, if she softens on what she's doing and she tries to go a different route, she's already mainstream, but she takes her image a different direction. She could find a more mainstream audience that's not quite as, I guess, demanding of her to be this way. But this will follow her around for at least the next 5 years.
Well, changing her image or even her sound would probably feel like an affront to her artistic integrity. So she's backed into a corner here and doesn't really have a way out. Like it's a lose-lose situation.
This happens. I mean, Taylor Swift falls into this camp as well because she donates quite a bit to charity, and it doesn't matter how much she donates. It'll never be enough because, my God, she flies her plane everywhere. And my goodness, she's a billionaire. She's a billionaire. Why doesn't she donate hundreds of millions to charity? Why only a single digit of millions or a double digit of millions? Oh, you gave all of your all of your crew $100,000 bonus. Why? You've got $1 billion. Why don't you give them $200,000?
Right.
It's like when people talk about what the minimum wage should be raised to. And they're like, a living wage is $30 an hour. Well, why not $100 an hour?
Exactly. Every fan of Chappell Roan is the archetype of the non-binary roommate named Sock who doesn't do the dishes.
Yes.
Like, that's these people, and they believe that as a barista, they should be making $30 an hour or something. And they will flip the iPad on you and expect you to give them at least a 30% tip.
It was like when I tweeted, I was like, if you want to know why the WNBA is failing, it's like, ask your wife, would she rather go to a WNBA game or to Target? Because the tweet was about like a Target manager making $80K a year. Well, where's the revenue going? Your wife doesn't care about the WNBA, but she certainly cares about Target. And then people are like, by that logic, Target employees should all make $80K a year. I'm like, no, a manager has a higher skill set that's harder to find, but that is a level of nuance that morons on the internet aren't capable of grasping.
Well, judging just by the way that Chappell Roan has made decisions about her career, I am convinced that this woman doesn't want to be rich.
Do you think she's just going to give it all away?
Yeah, she seems to agree with them in a sense that there is an indignity in being one of the rich celebrities, and she wants to distance herself from that image as much as possible. And I don't believe that she's a millionaire yet. I think that she's struggling, and partially because she keeps throwing all of her money at these causes, thinking that eventually her fan base is going to be satisfied with her amount of activism and her allyship.
If she's a true believer, that will fade the older she gets, and she really if the concert dates start drying up, then that money's going to be very, very important to hold on to.
She needs to do a little pivot like JoJo Siwa and start dating a man.
She's going to have to do something, because if you give all the money away, then you can't actually, it's like when they talk about when a plane, in the case of emergency, you have to secure your own mask first before you can help other people, and you need to take care of yourself first, then you can worry about helping those around you. But the people who disagree with that notion are the same ones who believe that there's some type of higher level of dignity and honor in suffering.
Yeah.
They believe that suffering makes you of a higher class of person.
Well, not suffering, but really just suffering at the hands of an oppressor class specifically, like being a victim. It's funny that everyone keeps comparing Chappell Roan to Lady Gaga, and they're saying, like, this is Gen Z's Lady Gaga. How about you wait until you're Lady Gaga before you start throwing all your money away? Actually become Gen Z's Lady Gaga, and then decide how you want to use your money when you actually have some to spare on these causes. But I doubt by the time she wisens up, she will have changed her views on these things.
She will. I mean, I 100% believe that her management and her stylists have already planned out what the next phase will be. I think that with most of these stars that feel prepackaged, they've got it down to, I guess, what Taylor Swift calls eras, but they plan the next phase of your career. There's too much money and infrastructure in this business to just be like, we'll just see where it goes.
Sabrina Carpenter did exactly that, and it has worked out for her. That's an understatement. She has adopted an entirely new aesthetic. There's also a theory that pop stars choose a signature color that triggers a reaction for you in your brain where you identify everything of that color with them. For instance, for Olivia Rodrigo, it's purple. For Sabrina Carpenter, it would be baby blue. I think Taylor Swift would be red, of course. And Chappell Roan is just rainbow.
not red hair or pink.
It's not distinguishing enough. Let's go to Superchats.
Do it.
Red Snow said, died in a skiing accident is the definition of sus. Is it?
I mean, kind of, yeah.
That does happen.
Yeah, it does feel that way.
It said that she like fell really badly, got a brain injury, and then the brain hemorrhage, she was hospitalized, and then the brain hemorrhage worsened, and then within 2 days she was dead.
It's like Mattress Firm. Right. What you sell is mattresses.
What are you trying to imply Liam Neeson is responsible?
I'm not saying anything. I'm just asking questions.
Cleggy said, Liam, is that urine on your pants, or are you just happy to see me?
That's what he's saying.
All I ever do is blank said, throwing that Irish hot dog down an empty hallway. Oh, man. Look, I'm just saying Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson's relationship kind of does fly in the face of what Red Pillars would have you believe about Liam Neeson's dating preferences.
I mean, but there are plenty of examples of guys, I guess maybe not his age, because he's in his 70s already, but you're going to see plenty of actors, guys in their 60s I guess no, it's not a good example. Like Nathan Fillion, Firefly, Castle, The Rookie, Guy Gardner. There was just pictures of him the other day with actress Tanya Raymond, who would have been my casting choice for Amy Winehouse. He's in his mid 50s and she's in her late 30s, so that's like it's like 17 years. But you're going to see examples of guys in their 60s who are dating women in their 30s.
That's also not what the Red Pill would have you believe they do.
What, she should be 21 and working at Walmart?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, that's literally what they believe. Like, a high-value man wants to date a hot Walmart cashier. Like, okay. I mean, where are the examples?
Maybe the modern version of that is a woman who works in, at charitable foundations.
What?
It's not in the spotlight, but surrounds herself with celebrities.
Oh, like an activist.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. I don't know. Pat the Plumber said, Brett, how was it being on the funnest Timcast in quite some time?
Was that? I mean, yeah, I had a good time. It was good. It was fun. That guy was funny. He was. I didn't get a chance to. I forget. I don't even remember his name. He was really funny though. But you're right, because Tim was very willing to just go off into the paranormal and topics be damned, which I always appreciate.
That's fun.
When it isn't so rigidly following because what always happens on IRL is like inevitably Tim is like, if you've ever been there, you know he's ready to switch to the next topic because his hand's on the stream deck. And he's looking up at the screen because that's his signal to move. And I've always got to get my last word in. I'm not leaving this. Sometimes I let it go. Sometimes I'm like, that doesn't matter. But most of the time I'm like, no, I'm here. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm saying one more stupid thing before we move on.
More power to you.
Yeah.
Shane H. Wilder said, my parents were 12 years apart. They met when my dad was working a milk route that delivered to a diner my mom was working at. That is incredibly old-fashioned, like Americana right there. Red Snow said, we can get the Vance list, but not the Epstein list. Yeah, we're going to find out, like, these people's social security numbers before we get the Epstein list.
I mean, what was the thing that I mentioned? I was like, no, we'll find something leaks and you find everything out. Like they knew everything about the astronomer dude in like 8 seconds, but I still know nothing about the dude who tried to kill the president.
Yeah.
Sus.
You're just going to have to accept
sus,
that.
if you ask me.
Unfortunately, it was fake news that Andy Byron sued Coldplay.
I know. Terrence Popp was the guest name last night. He was great.
Terrence Popp. I don't know if I've heard of him.
Let's hold off on the rest and we'll come back after.
Okay. So earlier this year, conservatives were overjoyed to see Demi Lovato having her redemption arc. So, yeah, back in like the 2019 to 2021 era of her career, she was overweight, she shaved her head, she identified as non-binary with they, them pronouns, and she just seemed to be going down a very bad spiral. And earlier this year, she got married to a man. And she stopped identifying with they, them pronouns. She looks like her old self again. She's slim. She's beautiful. She has long hair. She is conventionally attractive once again. And it seems that has taken place with maybe a reevaluation of her entire worldview. And maybe she has let go the days that she clung to a victim narrative about everything.
Didn't she say she gave up the they, them pronouns because it was just too difficult to remember?
Yes, but she probably also realized that it was quite vain. And now she has completed this full circle moment for her redemption arc by returning to the infamous frozen yogurt shop that she called out publicly back in 2021 because they carried diet frozen yogurt. They carried sugar-free treats for people who are trying to lose weight. And when she saw that, she legitimately said she felt so triggered that she could not even continue and buy her frozen yogurt. She had to leave. And she ended up calling them out publicly on Instagram, then following it up with this long rant where she kind of apologized for putting a small business on blast, but also said that she's like standing for everyone in the country and like the world and
you have to listen to
her
the video.
inner child.
It's hilarious how earnest and honest she sounds.
Yeah, but it seems that now that she is married and she is working again and she looks gorgeous, she has matured a little bit since 2021, and she has now posted a video at Big Chill, the FROYO shop, where she has returned and ate some frozen yogurt.
I left that yogurt store and didn't get the yogurt that I wanted. I left that yogurt.
I like that they didn't just she didn't just go there and make a video. She turned it into a TikTok trend.
No, I love that.
That's awesome.
I love that. She seems happy. She's skinny. She's living her best life.
There's like an Ozempic needle just sticking out of her.
And you know what? Frozen yogurt shop Big Chill deserved a mea culpa from Demi Lovato for what she did to them.
The fact that they're still in business is a testament to their talent as a business.
Yeah. And I think I remember at the time they even issued an apology.
Yeah.
Which is insane to think about. Here's what she posted on Instagram at the time. This screams diet culture, and I won't be gaslit by the media or anyone else who says otherwise. I don't need to feel guilt-free about eating anything. This was what I was talking about, and this is directly from their own page. And she was pointing out these snacks that they carried at the time, which were called guilt-free. They were like protein cookies or something. And it deeply offended her because she has recovered from an eating disorder and she feels like she needs to project that onto everyone else in society and start making demands of a small family-owned business in her area and put them completely on blast. In fact, at the time, the frozen yogurt shop issued a statement to TMZ saying they were really hurt by Demi's comments because for 36 years, this small business has catered to anyone who's come through their door. They say they've always tried to have something for everyone, whether they're diabetic, vegan, gluten-free, or just want dessert. And they tell us there has been an outpouring of support since Demi Lovato's rant. Let's just take a look at her poor attempt at an apology video from back in 2021 when this blew up in her face and no one sympathized with her.
A lot of people who have struggled with anorexia, I myself, like, FROYO was something that I would go to because it was low in calorie and it just felt safe to me. I know that people struggle with FROYO, with eating disorders. So that's why I'm super sensitive when I walk into a FROYO place and I see diet stuff. Like, I'm gonna be protective. I'm protective of the little girl inside of me that didn't get that representation at a young age of someone saying, all of this diet stuff is not okay. You're worth more than that. I also am standing up for just anyone who struggles in LA. Like, this is you know what, the whole country, fuck it. Like, this is a hard thing to live with on a daily basis. The thing about overcoming my addictions, my drug addictions, was because I don't have to, I can walk away from that and never touch it again for the rest of my life. Like, I don't ever have to do that, but I have to eat 3 times a day. This is something that will be with me for the rest of my life. I left that yogurt store and didn't get the yogurt that I wanted. And then I had a hard time the rest of the weekend, to be totally transparent. And that's probably something that nobody wants me to say. Like, I don't know, but I'm human and I talk about my struggles. And I'm passionate, so I'm sorry that I got the messaging wrong. I'm sorry.
I can't get over how earnest she sounds.
And I had a hard time the rest of the weekend.
It was difficult, and I'm sorry. Like, I have to give her credit for sounding so unbelievably earnest.
Sorry that I may have disappointed some people, but I'm not coming after a small business as someone with a lot of followers. That's not what I'm doing here.
You kind of are, though.
I'm
like that. It's just inextricably linked to you. You can't extricate yourself from that.
I walked into a situation that didn't sit right with me. My intuition said, speak up about this, so I did. And I feel good about that. What I don't feel good about is some of the way that it's been interpreted and how the message has gotten misconstrued over all of it. I will do whatever I can to work with this FROYO shop if they want to help align the messaging to where I feel safe going in there and I can eat the FROYO that I want.
Safe! She didn't feel safe in this FROYO shop.
The most Western thing I've ever heard.
And I'm not kidding, in a different part of this video, she actually earnestly uses the word triggered. She described herself as, I was so triggered by that I couldn't stay in the FROYO shop and I left without buying my FROYO.
Yeah.
And it ruined her damn weekend. Yeah. I mean, haven't we all been there?
First world
feeling unsafe.
First world problems, final boss.
Yeah, and then I want to skip to about 8 minutes in because this is just a legendary
it gets better, guys.
Quote.
You guys are awesome. Thanks for checking in. Being a celebrity is exhausting sometimes. So today I'm gonna get off my phone, I'm gonna shoot my podcast, go to work, do whatever I need to do. And you won't be hearing from me today because I need a mental health day. Peace. Love.
It's not easy being a celebrity.
Guys, being a podcaster is exhausting.
It's so difficult being
I need a mental health break. Peace, love, validation, affirmation. I hope that you all feel safe.
I do this every day. I get up and I go, it's not easy being this handsome. I look in the mirror, I go like this.
Insanity. So, I think she's gone through some personal growth since 2021 to be able to laugh this off now and make a joke out of it and be willing also to be the butt of the joke and understand how ridiculous that really was in hindsight. In the moment, she was totally in the depth of celebrity delusion, and since then has had some time to reflect and improve herself and become not only mentally but also physically healthier, it seems. She's in a happy relationship. She's found more stability, and you can tell the growth that's gone on inside is shown on the outside, and I'm happy for Demi Lovato. And I will just add, to this day, this FROYO shop still carries diet snacks. They said on their website, Our daily rotation includes no sugar added, carbo light, fat-free, and dairy-free varieties.
We went to...
And low-fat baked goods.
We ended up talking about... I don't even know how it came up last night. FROYO came up on IRL. We talked about Sweet Frog.
It's never been my favorite. Like, I'm always going to prefer ice cream, personally.
And Tim mentioned, he's like, even the smallest cup is like... however many ounces. I'm like, you don't have to fill it up. I know, like, your instinct is to like fill it up to the top, but I don't. Mine is basically a quarter FROYO and the rest of its toppings. I'm basically just eating spoonfuls of Twix and Snickers.
That's kind of the way, yeah. I don't know. It's honestly kind of funny that this even became a controversy in 2021 because by then...
Didn't we have better things to worry about?
Nobody... Well, yes, we had like a whole crisis on our hands, sure. But also by that time, no one like ate FROYO anymore. Am I wrong? I feel like FROYO was like a really big deal in the early 2010s and then it just disappeared from the ether. Like it wasn't trendy anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's also like a Red Barn ice cream out by us that I like to go to.
I'm always going to choose ice cream over FROYO.
The in the Red Barn is for the most part cheaper, I think, depending on how much I actually get, but more filling. Yeah.
I mean, I guess if Demi Lovato were one of the peasant folk who has to do her own grocery shopping, she would see Halo Top ice cream in one of the frozen aisles and feel she might just instantly drop dead right there, just in shock. The calorie counts on these diet ice creams, it's offensive.
Yeah, I think it's also okay. So I will ask a question. Somebody asked, like, did she actually change or did she just get thin? Do you think that her personality is actually drastically different, or are we maybe putting a little bit? Putting a little bit more than is actually there of her doing this video? Do you think this is actually indicative of a change of her personality?
Yeah, I think that in order to accept that you were, you know, the butt of the joke and participate in it with everyone else and they'll be laughing with you instead of at you, you do have to humble yourself. And at the time that she called them out those years ago, she was completely on a celebrity pedestal and like preaching to people from an incredibly privileged position, and she wasn't willing to hear, you know, the perspective of like people who have actual problems in their life.
So here's the question then. If we're to assume that she's changed, is she going to sing to another ghost about perhaps, you know, overgeneralizing women's oppression? Maybe trivializing women's oppression. That's what I want to see. I want to see her go on a paranormal show and talk about her past mistakes, trivializing the oppression of women.
I want to see Demi Lovato guest star on an episode of Inverted World Live.
That would be amazing.
In order for me to be fully convinced that she has completed her redemption arc.
She sang to a ghost, and I don't know if... wait, was it a ghost or an extraterrestrial entity? That's what it says. I was like...
She said that it was a ghost of a woman who had been affected by sexism in her life.
That's what happened.
And she sang Skyscraper to the ghost. That was in the middle of her crazy face.
You know, when she sang Skyscraper to a ghost, I felt that.
Yeah, that was personal. All right, let's finish up these super chats. Shane H. Wilder said, I made a public PCC Spotify playlist last year that includes Fall For You, Burger Queen, Skibbity Bop, 2 Weeks, Summertime Sadness, etc. That's incredible.
Burger Queen is a good one.
I didn't know that was on Spotify. I just thought that was a
TikTok
TikTok meme.
Is it just like the 8-second
It's a remix
clip? Is it the whole song?
It's like an EDM remix of Burger Queen.
I wonder what happened to them.
I bet they still make content.
I think they're still together?
Well, no, they got replaced by the redhead and the twink. For sure. They filled that niche. The Manic Mustache said, as a man, what is more embarrassing, having your playlist reveal that you listen to Taylor Swift or Limp Bizkit? Asking for a friend. Stay toxic, my friends.
No, depending on who you ask, depending on your corner of the internet, they'll like Shane Cashman tell you listening to Limp Bizkit is awesome.
I mean, I would say...
I have no problem with you listening to Limp Bizkit.
If Phil Labonte, of all people, can openly say he is a Swiftie and that he listens to her music, why shouldn't you?
Yeah.
Not That Jon Stewart said, Lady Gaga heard Big Bang and just ran with it. Yeah, I think she wrote some fan fiction about the Big Bang Theory and kind of went from there. Weary Traveler said, Kabbalah is a hell of a drug. Is that related to Lady Gaga?
Kabbalah, right?
I didn't know that Lady Gaga was a practitioner of Kabbalah, but I know Madonna is. She's actually like posed with those texts. Terrence Rice said, elites, COVID didn't work, let's start a race war. Yeah, they have to just smash that race war button to distract all of us from, well, obvious things. All I do is over blank said, Lady Gaga equals white bisexual Kamala Harris on ayahuasca. You know, it's surprisingly accurate.
I saw that Kamala Harris has a book coming out. So she's not running for governor.
What's it called? Is it a memoir?
I remember looking at the photo and saying that's either AI or heavily photoshopped.
Maybe she wrote a book about Venn diagrams. Oh, okay. She says, what the world saw on the campaign trail was only part of the story. My new book is a behind-the-scenes look at my experience leading the shortest presidential campaign in modern history. What? How is that a flex? That's really embarrassing. 107 Days is out on September 23rd. I can't wait for you to read it. Wow.
My hope is that it's as much word salad as her, like, media appearances.
The first comment says, are the pages flammable? Oh, man. I hope that Megan Thee Stallion writes the foreword. How about that?
Is the cover a Venn diagram?
No. Weirdly, it's just kind of blank. How are you? Is there like one chapter dedicated to each day of the campaign? Like,
was she the one who dated Willie Brown?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was watching a video today on Jim Jones and the Jonestown Massacre, and they were talking about how Willie Brown was like a supporter of Jim Jones.
Oh.
And I was like, along with like Dianne Feinstein and all these people.
A really bad look.
Okay, you know, whatever.
Wow, did she really spend $2 billion?
Yeah.
That in 107 days?
I thought it was $1 billion.
Regardless, in 107 days?
Wow.
Nah. And I don't believe for a second, by the way, that the Call Her Daddy appearance cost them like 6 figures. No, that's money laundering.
I mean, that depends.
It's gotta be.
Like like if you had to hire contractors to build that set off-site and it was on a weekend, and between materials, bringing in your own contractors, people that are good at their jobs, even though the sign was like off-center.
To put up some cardboard and set up the lighting? You know, I mean, I just don't, I'm not buying it. Sorry. And also, it would have come off as authentic as it can come off as Kamala Harris on an episode of Call Her Daddy if they just filmed it in the hotel room with some lights.
Yeah. People would pay for that type of authenticity.
Right.
It's like when I make the comment about like, why do people, when they film phone videos that are supposed to look a certain way, why don't they just flip the image back? But they do that on purpose because it screams authentic to not flip the image back the right way around. Especially if they're wearing like I've seen videos of people advertising merch for a company and the logo's backwards because they're filming it with their phone. I'm like, bro.
Kind of defeats the purpose a little bit. Adam said, I think she is heartbroken from her breakup, so she's working like crazy, maybe.
Sydney Sweeney?
I don't think Sydney Sweeney is broken up about her ex-fiance because she's already been seen with a new so-called, by the Daily Mail, hunky mystery man. I mean, on a jet ski.
What is more old school than articles written about like hunky mystery men?
Yeah, I like it. It's kind of anachronistic a little bit. So she's been seen with him. I was hoping she was going to rebound with Glenn Powell, but maybe he wasn't interested. Although the reason given for her breakup with Jonathan Davino was that she wanted to focus on work, so she probably wasn't even interested in staying with a guy.
Rootless Redneck says Jim Jones did start as a very peaceful group focusing on integration. Yeah, he was, from what I learned, apparently very affected by his father being like an open racist. It was a very interesting thing to watch. I'd never, outside of references in media, I hadn't really looked into Jim Jones, but it was interesting.
Shane H. Wilder said, I stopped by the Frederick Mall last night and there was a big stand-up of Sydney Sweeney. 2 dudes were looking at it and one said, she's a Nazi dog whistling, but she's got nice tits. LMAO.
Did they actually say that?
There is no way. Are you kidding? I can't tell if you're kidding. People don't talk like that in real life. I want to believe that people don't talk like that in real life, but please elaborate.
Okay, if they did, I want to know, can you describe what they looked like?
Yeah, and what were they wearing? Were they with their wives or girlfriends at the time that they said it?
I mean, I guess it could have been said sarcastically, like she's Nazi dog whistling, but at least she's got nice.
But it's even still just a weird thing to say out loud in front of strangers.
Like, and not look around.
Right? Like I'm not going to be saying the word Nazi in public with any like volume to my voice. That's crazy. If real.
I regularly say things that make Olivia like, you shut the fuck up.
Is it like the penis game, but the Nazi game? You just like keep saying Nazi louder and louder. Yeah. Shane H. Wilder said, that was the shrine I went to. It was like 53 minutes from Charlestown processing the photos while watching. Oh, I didn't realize it was named that. I just thought it was the National Shrine Grotto. But I love that place. Moon at Noon said, just because Mary Morgan. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Alex Macon Beds is engaged to the most beautiful woman, said, I'm happy to inform that I'm no longer engaged because a priest declared I am now married to an amazing and beautiful wife. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
And I was about to have to say, I'm sorry you're wrong, but actually I'm engaged to the most beautiful woman in the world. So I didn't want to have to correct you, but.
This is going to get contentious, but yeah, happy milestones to share. Weary Traveler said, make IRL PCC. Again?
I mean, tonight will kind of be that because it'll be 2 PCC people on IRL.
It's like a crossover episode. Do you remember any crossover episodes that like really stick with you?
What do you mean? Of like television shows?
Yeah. Because I loved them.
I mean, when the thing people probably think about are like the CW Arrowverse shows did all the big crossovers, but the funny ones to me were like, there was a show called Crossing Jordan starring Jill Hennessy, and there was a show called Las Vegas starring Josh Duhamel and James Caan, and I have no idea why. I guess just because they were both on NBC. They would do crossovers from time to time, and I liked it because they actually made like interactions between the characters on these shows like something that repeated itself, where the character of Woody on Crossing Jordan, who was a police officer and a dork, Jerry O'Connell plays a very good dork for a tall, handsome dude, would consistently end up in bed with Vanessa Marcil's character, who's the most standoffish, bitchy character you'll ever meet. And she would always look at this guy, tall, dark, handsome Jerry O'Connell, like he's like this dopey worm, despite the fact that nothing about him screams that other than the way he acts on the show. And then when they would bring them back, they would both kind of maintain those characters. So I appreciate that they didn't just have them cross over and then when they'd come back, they'd be completely different or act completely different on them. Plus, it felt like a different time because we're talking about early 2000s before crossovers were as oversaturated as they are now.
Are they oversaturated? I don't feel like they do crossover episodes anymore at all.
Maybe not now because the Arrowverse is dead, but I enjoyed the original crossover when Barry Allen first appeared on Arrow, and then when they did the first crossover in Arrow season 3 with Flash season 1. What about you? Is there like a show that you can think of? Did they do that on like Disney Channel or Nickelodeon?
Yes, many. I remember they did an iCarly and Victorious crossover episode. The collective childhood trauma in that room could probably like create a nuclear bomb.
Power a small Midwestern city.
Yeah. And then they also did one with, I think, Hannah Montana and Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, if I recall correctly. Loved those.
Yeah, like I liked it back then. I remember there was supposed to be like an X-Files and a Picket Fences crossover that never happened. It was different back then. TV was different. Hold on.
Oh, they also did a Wizards of Waverly Place Hannah Montana one. Even though Selena Gomez already had a cameo on the show. They just made a joke about how like Oh, she looks like that other girl.
Somebody in the chat, is that Tadanaka says Ninja Turtles and Batman, what could have been? Yes, if you haven't seen the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated film, I highly suggest you go and watch it. It's so much better than it had any right to be. It's fantastic.
Red Snow said, Froyo kicked my dog, ate my cat, and cut my tires. Well, it did something even worse to Demi Lovato. Shane H. Wilder said, Burger Queen is 233. There are multiple verses. Oh, they recorded it into a whole song after the meme, I bet.
The worst crossover that I remember of all time was the show Bones, which was a real world forensic show, did a crossover with the show Sleepy Hollow, which was about Ichabod Crane.
That's terrible.
And it made no sense. It was extremely stupid, and I laughed the whole way through it. But yeah, it was like, it made no sense.
200 Watt Studio, I am not reading that.
I have no doubt.
Zach Yandel said, Mary, people talk like that in real life. I don't know. I mean, I feel like most people these days would be cautious about yelling the word Nazi in public. Maybe I'm crazy. Francisco Sanchez Jr. said, hey, what is a pierogi and why is Alan Dershowitz suing someone who refused to sell him one? Brett, Long John Silver's or Jack in the Box?
Jack in the Box. That's not even a question. Jack in the Box is fine.
Wait, do you have Jack in the Box in the Midwest?
No, but I've had it. I've been
Just
to one.
when you've been in like California or whatever?
California. Who the hell do you know that picks Long John Silver's over Jack in the Box? That's insane.
I'm kind of confused about this Alan Dershowitz thing. He's suing someone for not selling him a pierogi.
I mean, valid.
What is this? This is actually like a news story right now. Total scum. Ex-Trump lawyer ridiculed after meltdown over pierogi in Martha's Vineyard.
Okay.
Alan Dershowitz has now accused a local vendor of discriminating against him. They refused to serve him because of his support for Israel in the war in Gaza. He was heard yelling, "I'm suing." Okay. One post on Instagram said, I met Alan Dershowitz today. I stopped him from harassing a vendor who wouldn't serve him pierogi at the farmer's market on Martha's Vineyard. I made a statement to the police and they threatened to trespass him if he bothered any more vendors. 3 refused him. The police took a witness statement from me. No one else wanted to do it because he sues everyone here. Was talking about suing the vendor. Total scum. This is crazy. You know, man just wanted pierogies. They should have just given him what he was paying for. That's messed up. Give the man, I mean, anyone is justified in ordering some pierogies. Shane H. Wilder said, I'm not kidding about the mall thing. They were overweight and androgynous looking. It was awkward. I was thinking they did the meme. Okay, so they were like queer coded people, but they were interested in Sydney Sweeney's assets. That's interesting.
I'm like going down the rabbit hole of like crossovers to see if there's any that I'm forgetting. I did not know that Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder crossed over. I really, really like, this is one of those things, you know how I say I'm not a completionist. I loved the first season of How to Get Away with Murder. Never watched another episode in my entire life. Loved it, thought it was fantastic, and then just never watched it again.
Well, it'll take me a while to finally accept that I'm done watching a show. Like, I stayed with Walking Dead while it was horrible for way too long.
Yeah, and some of these other ones, again, here's an old school reference. I mean, old school by my standards. The original CSIs, a lot of them did crossovers. And I remember when CSI Miami crossed over with CSI New York, and you got to see David Caruso and Gary Sinise together on screen, and I thought that was very cool. And I remember the audio commentaries on that talking about the challenges of filming both of them, because filming New York style sets are vastly different than filming in Miami, which even if they're not in New York, you know, an accurate looking New York apartment, which let's face it, most apartments shown in TV shows that are supposedly in New York are not they've got like these vaulted ceilings and you're like, that cost $10 million.
Yeah.
That guy can't afford that. I like that. So I miss those days. Like, if you want to watch something that's apolitical, for the most part, go watch old episodes of the CSIs. It's literally just, he's got a freaking hair on him. He's guilty. And then he gives some stupid reason at the end, and it's awesome.
It's kind of Scooby-Doo-esque. It's like Scooby-Doo for adults.
Yeah.
I think that the celebrity cameos in CSI were like so unserious, but I kind of love
The
it.
Taylor Swift one.
In
the original CSI.
The Justin Bieber one.
I
I think that honestly, this is kind of messed up, but I think that the cameo they did with Justin Bieber was kind of targeted. Like, people at the time hated him so much that they wanted to see him get mowed down by bullets.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's exactly what they gave the audience.
See, we used to be a country.
That's
okay?
but that's kind of messed up.
The producers are like, give the people what they
He
want.
was 16. The entire world hated his guts for no reason. And they were just like, we could probably get really good ratings if we just show Justin Bieber getting violently murdered.
We'll pop a rating if we have Justin Bieber and Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift dies too, if I remember correctly, in her episode.
How does she die?
In a hotel, if I remember.
Does it show her dying?
I don't know if I don't remember if it's that or if she.
Let me see.
How she died, but I remember she died.
But she didn't get shot up on camera.
Probably.
Okay,
Didn't she play like a prostitute?
What? Okay, it says Taylor Swift's character Haley Jones died in CSI's episode Turn, Turn, Turn during an altercation with her adoptive mother. Her mother stabs her with a pair of scissors after an argument about Haley's new hair color.
No. Yeah, 'cause she dyes her hair dark.
Yeah, she goes from blonde to black, and then they zoom in on her dead face.
Yeah.
Wow, in the parking lot of a motel, Haley was found dead.
Kim Kardashian was in a 2009 episode of CSI New York as Debbie Fallon, a con woman and murderer who was killing vulnerable homeless people with her friend.
See, this was just a time, this is like a better time when celebrities maybe didn't take themselves so seriously.
I love it.
High Voltage 75 said, any opinion on Shake Shack? One opened on my work route and kind of curious to try.
I've never eaten there. I just know that it looks like it belongs in an office park and it's like an investment bank. It has no personality, like all the fast food places now.
I think I saw the Shake Shack, or no, at
least the one that's that's in Olivia's neighbor, like Olivia lives by one. It looks like it could be a freaking law office.
I saw the one of the headquarters for Five Guys, I think, in Virginia, and it just looks like a front for the CIA. It's so weird.
I mean, that's like, so I go, whenever I drive through office parks, there's a lot of great stuff to skate in office parks. I'm like, 8 of these are fronts, right?
They gotta be.
Like 8 of these businesses, it's like
they're just planning false flag terrorist attacks.
It's like it's a business called like Renner Genetics. I'm like, yeah, right. Allied Business Solutions LLC. Could you be any more of an NSA op?
Yeah.
Like, please. Like I said, it's when you go buy a mattress from and you're like, right, mattresses. Not babies, blood, and children. Right.
The one thing I'll say about Shake Shack, even though I haven't tried it either, is that they are lying about being seed oil free. We talked about this recently. Don't believe the lies. They're trying to trick right-wingers into buying their burgers, but the truth is, on their fries at the very least, they come pre-cooked in vegetable oil, and then they just cook them again in the beef tallow. So beware.
Did they say Shake Shack? I might be thinking of a Steak and Shake. The one that I saw. Might have been a Steak and Shake, not a Shake Shack.
Well, is it Steak and Shake that's going seed oil free, or is it Shake Shack? Because I thought it was Shake Shack.
No, I'm saying the business I was talking about that I saw that looked like a law office. I think that was a Steak and Shake.
200 Watt Studio said, pierogi maker said to Alan, it's my prerogative. That's great. That's a knee slapper right there. Surenko Productions said, I don't even know what this acronym is. How to Get Away with Murder?
Yeah.
Oh, was so good, but the later seasons were not.
I mean, that's what happened with Scandal as well. Scandal started out fantastic. Kerry Washington is great. and Joe Morton is particularly great. Tony Goldwyn or whatever is Golden or Goldwyn is great. Every actor in that show is fantastic, and it's the whole main first couple of seasons about stealing elections with a single voting booth in like a small Midwestern city.
Predictive programming.
And the manifest destiny they have towards, well, he's a good guy, so we got to steal this election because, we really believe in him. And he's just a scumbag who's cheating on his wife. And that actress, what is her name? Melly? Is that the character's name is Melly. The actress is fantastic, and you really, as evil as she ends up kind of being, if I remember correctly, she ends up being like the definition of like a Hillary Clinton, like, yeah, he cheated on me, but I've got my own aspirations. That actress is great.
No, we were joking earlier off air about what Hillary Clinton's Spotify playlist looks like, and I said that Kill Bill by SZA is on there for sure.
Bellamy Young plays Melly Grant.
Oh, okay.
She's great. Scott Foley.
Pop Culture Junkie said, I had nothing to say today, so here's $2.
Thank you.
Thank you, anyway.
Thank you. We all caught up?
Yeah, I think so, but what about Rumble?
Let's check Rumble. We will see what's going on here. We got one here from the local Wendigo. Says, I'm going to pick up from pierogies. I think he meant some pierogies. On my way home from work later now. I would totally take it to court if I was denied pierogies.
It would be justified for sure.
It would be. I've definitely not had. I'm gonna have to go back and have some pierogies again. Maybe like we have an air fryer. I wonder if pierogies would be good in the air fryer. Are they?
Yes, definitely.
That seems like something I might want to try. Maybe we'll have those tonight after IRL. Maybe I'll be like, can we have some pierogies? Yeah.
I'm excited for IRL. I feel like we've only been on an episode of IRL at the same time once, right?
Once
maybe
or
twice.
Twice, I think. Yeah.
Well, one of them was Tim and Elijah debating each other the entire time about Israel.
Yes, so there was 2 times I remember now, because in one of them you were sitting in the seat on that side, and the other one I was sitting in the. We both sat in Phil's seat once.
Yes.
The one where you were in Phil's seat was the one where Tim and Elijah just argued about Israel the whole time.
Right.
And we were like, good work if we can get it.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't remember the other one now.
I don't remember what we were talking about on that one.
Probably wasn't that important.
Because the one we were on was definitely funnier.
It was memorable.
We didn't have to do anything.
Well, then they slowed down for a second, and they randomly were just like, I don't know, what do you think, Mary?
It's like, I know you guys went through like 2 decades of lore there. Like, what do you want me to say?
What do I think of everything that you guys just talked about for the last like hour and a half?
Sorry, I wasn't taking notes.
Yeah. Generally, I think I said I was on Elijah's side, but who cares what side I'm on? I'm a pop culture podcaster.
What do we know about it?
Yeah, what do we... Genuinely, though, like, what do we know about that?
The thing is, though, is if you say that, then Tim purposely pushes it to you. It's like we had some guy on who was like an expert in the Middle East, and like when the stuff with Iran was going on, and I'm like, I, on the other hand, know nothing about this. And then Tim's like, so what's your opinion on this? And I'm like,
what was your opinion?
I'm dying to know I don't have one.
Okay, cool. That's
like,
allowed. You're allowed to not have an opinion on something.
I was like, yes.
Yesn't.
Yeah.
We're just going to say yesn't to any question. High Voltage 75 said PCC cast IRL, let's go. Yeah, all of you need to tune in later. Shane H. Wilder said, only Steak and Shake I ever saw was in a truck stop in West Texas. Oh, and now Brett is a fan of pierogies after all that ish talking.
No, I said I'm willing to be convinced through more consumption. I wouldn't say that I'm a huge fan.
So your relationship status with pierogies on Facebook it's complicated.
Yeah, I'm definitely. By the way, our poll is at 50. It's split exactly 50-50.
Should we end it?
Well, the thing is, though, guys, is when you do this, what happens is that it says like it's always like 99%. It never adds up to 100%. So it's likely going to say Pamela Anderson 50%, Liam Neeson 49%. So let's see.
YouTube needs to fix that. It makes all of our polls meaningless.
Pamela Anderson wins with exactly 50%.
Okay, but that's I know math well enough to know 49 and 50 don't add up to 100, YouTube.
Look, I don't know if
there's some fishy stuff going on.
I don't know the difference between a quarter pounder and a third pounder, but I know that
Pamela Anderson skates by with those 3 a.m. ballots.
Yep, they dumped
But that's
him.
crazy that it's so split.
Yep,
You know, I like that. Our audience has a lot of diversity of thought.
that's good.
It's promising.
I bet you it's generational.
Well, then which generation voted for which one?
I feel like, despite the fact that Liam Neeson is older, like younger people maybe will choose Liam Neeson.
Neither of them had any cultural relevance to me, so I'm neutral on this question. High Village 75 said, it's the last day of your birthday month, Brett. Treat yourself to some pierogies. You deserve it.
There is no such thing as a birthday month, and if like that, maybe like I don't know much about red flags, but if a woman utters the phrase birthday month, leave her.
Birthday month. They all just instantly X out of the stream.
like if she's saying birthday week, she better be a very generous person in other aspects of her life and not at all narcissistic.
Look, I had a birthday month when I was approaching my 21st birthday because I needed to see, you know, friends who didn't know each other. Okay. Like it was a multiple occasion plan.
But did you call it your birthday month?
Yes, because it's funny.
Oh, man. Okay.
Only because it's funny. Not because I think everyone has to buy in.
You're not saying it seriously. So it's very different if they're seriously, if your girl comes up to you and she's like, so what are we going to do for my birthday month? You say, oh, I'm going to go not here. And sayonara.
My 21st birthday was awesome. I was in Dublin on study abroad, eating cake.
Oh, and you're traveling for your birthday this year as well, right?
Yes.
Oh?
Yes.
No?
I will not say where, just in case
just
there's
in case.
some crazy person out there who wants to run into me at the airport like the Wizard Liz. But yeah.
There's you get a birthday day, and even what did I see? The other one was like, what's something that people do that if a guy does, it's undignified. It said like it was like celebrate your birthday, or like
okay, if you go over the top, that's undignified for anybody.
Yep.
But I feel like it's more important for women to like.
Oh no, that's what I was saying. They said asking for your birthday off of work.
Oh, okay. Specifically, that
for
is like
men.
a red flag.
Yeah, it was undignified for a man to do.
I see. Well, I don't know. I think I don't know. People like take things too far for social media.
The first year of this podcast, I took my birthday off because it was the first time I'd gone home or the second year of this podcast, I took my birthday off because it was the first time I'd been home since I came out here to work like 2 years ago. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything undignified about that.
And it was like over 4th of July, and at that time the company was taking, because of where it fell during the week, we had like a bunch of days off. So I just added to it by, the smartest person is the one who like compounds their days off with like holidays, and they take another day off and make their vacation longer.
By the way, I just want to say that I feel really good about the way I spent like 2020 and 2021. I did not let these mandates and lockdowns ruin my life. Well, I had to for a certain time period because literally everything was closed. But in the latter half, I went back to school. No one was wearing masks. Then I dropped out of school and I just lived my life and volunteered and did my job, and everything was fine. Like, I just didn't feel like it ruined anything for me.
It was I loved it because every business was closed. So I went to work in the morning, and then I skated after work sometimes twice a day. And I could go literally anywhere and skate anything because nobody was outside. No cop came and bothered you, and all the businesses were closed. I actually yearn for that level of peace and calm again.
Don't speak another pandemic into existence, please. I don't want to go through that again, because there was genuinely a stretch of like probably over a month that I did not step foot outside of my house. Not because I was scared, but because I just felt like, I don't know, like what's the use? Like I wasn't really able to go anywhere. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It just kind of sucked. But
I just remember I was going up through a park and the basketball hoops were nailed shut.
that is so
with boards.
fucked up. Yeah, because everyone's going to die if you play basketball
Any-
alone.
Yeah. How dare your immune system get some physical activity?
Shane H. Wilder said, I haven't paid attention to the news today, so I'll send a rant into IRL about the gongo. Also, is the party counter not working?
Yeah, I just noticed that. I don't know what that's about, but let me double check something.
That's weird. I don't even know what number of parties we're at. Are we at 2?
Yeah, we're at 2.
Oh, okay.
Both the parties went off, but for some reason the
Whoops.
number is being weird.
It's always being screwy.
That is true.
The troubles with the crisis meter never end.
That's so weird. It's different here than it is on the actual list. I don't know.
We're going to have to troubleshoot with that some other time.
That's because I can see. You can see it on my screen here. I mean, people in the audience can't see it, but we can
don't
see
let
it.
them see.
Yeah.
We have a 20 from Fiore 1996. I asked my 18-year-old daughter who is more popular between the two, and she asked who Pamela Anderson is. Mr. Neeson, she knows from a few movies she's seen. So maybe that's the real barometer. Does Gen Z know either of these names?
I'm so confused as to why the party count isn't. That is very, very strange. There. Now we don't have to worry about it.
Okay, we'll turn it off.
Maybe the real party count was the friends we made along the way.
Okay, we're all caught up on the super chats, though.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we go, would you hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel? If you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already, please and thank you. Remember to share these episodes and the segments that we make out with your friends and your family and your loved ones and everybody that you know, because the best way that you can help the channel grow is to share the content out and get other people talking about it. So thank you so much for that. Mary, where can they find you?
You can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived. And help me get TikTok famous. That is also Mary Archived. And I'll remind you once again that we are both going on Timcast IRL this evening, so you should go tune in there.
All right. I'm going to have to do some troubleshooting after the show today and figure out what that is. But whatever. It's fine. We had 2 crisis parties. The crisis party went off. We had the parties. It was good. You have exactly you have less than 2 minutes if you want to get us to a 3rd crisis party. If you'd like to follow me, guys, I'm on Instagram and on X at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. This show is here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is, of course, noon Pacific. We are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you would like to listen rather than watch that show, perhaps you can make a Spotify playlist and then leak it to everybody so that they know that you watch the show. And if you want to follow the show on social media, we are on Twix at popculture_show, Facebook at Pop Culture Crisis, Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. Guys, we will be back with another episode tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.